All right. So first movie is.
I'm sorry.
You gonna be good? Are you gonna be able to not read chat?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Because it sounds like it's an issue for you.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
So first movie is Justice League. Basically Justice League is the DC Avengers. If you've not seen the Avengers, and it's a superhero movie. It's a superhero team up movie. And there's this villain, Steppenwolf. He wants to gather 3 mother boxes and destroy the world. Yada yada yada. And the group has to come together to stop them. Basically. If you're looking to watch this movie, I would recommend you don't. All right. And if you want to see the movie, I recommend you wait a couple months, get HBO Max, and watch Zack Snyder's miniseries, which is going to be better probably. Would you agree with that, Urban?
I fucking hope it's going to be better.
We hope so. Okay. That's kind of the overview of Justice League. So that's something that interests you and you haven't seen it. Go watch it. Next is going to be Indiana Jones.
I thought we were going to... Okay.
We're going to just go through and overview all of them, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so Indiana...
Should I hit the button?
It's up to you.
Bop.
All right, so Indiana Jones, classic movie from early 80s, I believe. It's basically just this character Indiana Jones going around exploring, finding hidden treasure. And it follows him and his path. It's set in like World War II, so they're the main villains are like Nazis and stuff like that. They're trying to get.
I thought it was World War One.
Is it World War One? I thought it was World War II because Nazis were a thing. It might be World War One. One of the world wars, whichever one it was.
1940s. Never mind. 1940s. It was 1940s. I was mistaken. It's World War II.
Yep.
I'm dumb. It's fine.
And so it's very classic. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's just kind of it's super fun, action and comedy. It's kind of pretty funny, I'd say. That's Indiana Jones. If you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it. There are 4 of them, really 3 of them. All right, John Wick 2 is next.
But the glass skull exists. Bop.
It's not even the glass skull. It's the King Crystal Skull.
That's the joke.
Anyway, so John Wick 2 is the sequel to John Wick. We talked about John Wick in our first podcast. So if you want to, or is it first or second actually? Which one had John Wick in it? I don't remember. One of the 2 podcasts has John Wick in it. You'll see it in the thumbnail. So this is the sequel. Right, so basically, John Wick is an assassin. He's like the best at it. He's like mythical in how good he is. This movie has hardcore action. It's rated R, and he goes around. And in this movie, he has to fulfill a contract that he has to fulfill. He doesn't want to fulfill it. He wants to go back to like leading a quiet life, but he has to. And then he kind of gets thrust back into the life, and then it leads to a lot of crazy scenarios where he has to do something he doesn't want to do, and then he's chased down and he's attacked and stuff like that. If you like action movies, and if you like legitimate acted action movies, not with a lot of like CGI, this is the movie for you. This is really, I think, this series of movies is, I think, a hark back to like the 80s action movies. I don't know if you agree with that or not, Urban.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add about John Wick 2, about like the overview?
It's really good. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
Watch John Wick 1 first, if you haven't seen any of them. John Wick 1 is good.
Yeah. It's needed for context.
Yes. Okay, and then the last one, When Harry Met Sally. So this is kind of like one of the classic romance movies. Basically, it's about a guy, Harry, and a girl, Sally. They meet, and it's kind of their story of how they kind of end up getting together. They're friends for a long time. And it really is just kind of like a character study. It's really just the 2 characters together interacting and, stuff like that. There are other characters, but they're very not important. And this takes place over a long period of time, too. So if you like romance movies, I would recommend this. And if you like just character studies in general, I'd recommend it. Anything else you want to add about the overview of When Harry Met Sally?
I remember being super skeptical about this movie when you put it on the movie list, and I was not down. And then I watched it, and it was acceptable. It was a good movie.
It was acceptable.
Good movie.
Okay, so that's pretty much your spoiler-free versions of all these movies. Now we're going into the spoiler zone. Name plug, and we're gonna start spoiling the shit out of these movies. All right.
All right. Let me bop. There we go. That's one for the thing, and then we can just go back.
All right, we're going to Justice League.
Yep.
All right. So, what to say about Justice League? uh,
I had high hopes. I had such high
yeah,
hopes.
yeah. So this one movie was a disappointment, to be sure. I think even you would agree with that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think what I want to say first off is that I do not like this movie. I think most of the movies we've watched on the spoiler zone, or not the spoiler zone, but like the movie list, I really like, and this is one of like a handful I didn't like. I know that you still. Where would you say that you're at in terms of liking it? I know that you kind of defend it still, but where are you at with that?
Um, I it's there was so much that they could have done with this movie, and that they just didn't. Kind of like with Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, just the entire DC cinematic universe, whatever they were gonna call it. Like it's they could have done. It makes me sad when I think about it. I'd put this maybe around Age of Ultron.
Really?
I still don't like Age of Ultron. I still don't like Age of Ultron. It was the weakest. It was the weakest Avengers movie, like by far.
So I'm actually
By a
curious. So
lot.
I'm curious, but so Age of Ultron has a lot of issues, right? But I would still say that's still a cohesive story, or like at least a cohesive movie at the very least. Like it has
I guess talking about cohesion, yeah, no, then Age of Ultron would be better. This one
well
goes a
then
little all over the place.
yeah, well then besides cohesion though, what do you think makes it so that they're about equal? Because I would not put this movie anywhere near Age of Ultron, which is surprising. That take is surprising to me actually. You might just not like Age of Ultron as much as I do. That's significantly possible.
Yeah, I don't know. It was Age of Ultron was kind of weak. I didn't. There was something about it I didn't really like that much. Like there were scenes in there that was cool, and I understand that it built things, but like coming off the back of the Avengers and then going on to like things like Captain America: Civil War and Infinity War, like it's not. It's like it's down there with like
No, that's
the
fair.
Dark World, honestly.
With what?
For me, at least, with the Dark World, Thor: The Dark World.
Really? You think it's down
Yeah.
that low?
Yeah,
That's interesting to me because I think that. Well, first thing I think I would need to point out the obvious. It's interesting to me that both of those movies are more or less made by Joss Whedon. Age of Ultron and Justice League. It's
Hey,
funny.
guess what? This movie was basically directed. This movie was basically made by Joss Whedon too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If
That
we're
was what I just said. Yeah, yeah.
Reshoots there was,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
which is weird because didn't Joss Whedon also direct the first Avengers movie, which was a fucking bop?
Yeah, but I think that was more
Lightning in a bottle.
maybe. But I think that the first Avengers movie, I think it was more simple. I mean, think about it. I mean,
That's fair.
at the time it wasn't very simple, but compared to what we do now, I mean, that was only 6 heroes you put together, and one of them was basically not in the movie. Hawkeye was barely in the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, really, you introduced kind of the big three. You had Thor, you had Captain America, and you had Tony Stark together. And then you had Hulk, kind of, but, like, he wasn't really, like, a big part of it. You had Bruce Banner a little bit, and then the two agents were, like, a lot less important, I feel like. So, I think that one was a little bit more manageable. Anyway, we're getting a little bit off topic there, but I think that there's a couple things about Justice League that don't work. I think, first off, definitely the segmented portion about it. So, I'm not a gigantic fan of Batman versus Superman or Man of Steel. I know that you're a gigantic fan of Man of Steel. But for me, I think that at the very least, you can never say that they don't have a clear vision, right? Like they set out to do something and then they do that thing, and then whether or not I like the thing that they do is the question. This one doesn't do anything at all because it really, really, really feels like two different directors fighting for control, which is crazy. You can feel that in the movie.
Yeah. It's all like the slightly more serious tones that really don't mesh with the reshoots with all the corny jokes.
Bro, so the first note that I have here, because when I was going back and watching these clips, I watched a fair amount of clips for Justice League actually. The humor does not land like at all for me. It's like really bad. Like Marvel humor can be hit or miss, but I think that Marvel humor is more hit than miss. I think there were like 2 jokes in this movie that I liked. I think I might even be generous.
Hold on. Please tell me one of those is when Flash and when
Yes,
Flash
yes,
and
that
Batman are
is.
getting in the car, and he's just like,
Oh
"So,
no,
what's your
no,
superpower again?" It's like, "I'm rich."
no. That movie. That's such a dumb joke.
I
That's a joke that a
I
fan
chuckled.
fiction would make, and though not even a good fan fiction. Like that's a joke that people made on Reddit because they were trying to boil it down to like, oh hey, this is like oh what's Batman's superpower? Like that was the joke that they made. Like that's not supposed to be in a major motion budget movie that's supposed to be serious after Batman versus Superman where everyone fucking died. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
The two jokes that I will say landed for me, the two that I liked. Hope we can see
Whoops.
your thing.
Yep. Give me a sec. Hold on.
There's two that I liked. The one is with Aquaman sitting on the lasso of truth and then talking about how I think we're all gonna die. I liked
Yeah.
that. And then the second one you just covered up is actually what's happening on screen here when Flash is
Oh.
running and then Superman looks at him and Flash. The face of Flash gets me every single time. That's like the only joke that I legitimately laugh at. I don't even know if that's even a joke. It's just kind of a funny moment, right?
Oh. Yeah.
So would you? I don't know. Did you like the humor in this movie?
Mm, there were some parts that were kind of there were some parts that got me to chuckle, like like the one that you called dumb, but I'm a child. You have to remember this.
It's the same energy for me as like in the most recent Star Wars movie where it's like they fly now. Like that's a terrible joke, but it's very memeable.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like it's funny because the internet gets to make fun of it, but I do not like it as in a movie because it's like, come on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a little it is a little tongue in cheek,
Yeah,
like a lot tongue in cheek actually.
yeah. So where would you rate
Are
this?
we
Like
talking
so like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. What would you say the humor is for this movie for you?
probably about a 4.5, maybe
1.5.
5-ish. It's just like it's subpar, but
Subpar.
it's not the worst I've ever heard.
Okay, that's fair. There's something else I wanted to say, I was surprised at. So again, this movie came out 3.5 years now at this point. It came out in 2017, right?
Yeah.
This movie does not look good.
CGI is a little
It's rough.
the CGI is dated for 2017.
Yeah, it was dated for 2017, and looking at it now, like it just does not look good. Like
One of the things I don't like about this movie is actually the aspect ratio that they use.
that's fair.
It's full screen. It's not like the oh god, what is it? 21 or 221.9, whatever, 221.4. The standard movie where it's like you got black bars at the bottom and the top.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. They don't do that. I don't remember if Man of Steel did that as well. I don't think it did. I feel like I would have remembered.
Mhm.
That was something that always threw me off because when like doing that and then also with the color grading for this movie, it always made it look like a CW TV show.
No, that's totally fair. Like it does kind of have that vibe, and it's interesting too that like the color grading was different in the trailer, if you remember.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sit here and tell you that it would have been better if it was Zack Snyder's original vision. I think that a lot of the issues that we have now would still be there, or maybe they'd be different. I don't think that if Zack Snyder had his full crack at it at the time, it would have been perfect. I think it might be good now. The HBO Max one, I'm kind of excited.
Well, yeah,
for that.
but he's had a lot of time to think about things and like what worked, what didn't. He's basically pulled a Doctor Strange. He's gone into the future to see all possible outcomes of the coming conflict. And now he's back, and he's making it the perfect Justice League movie.
Oh, he's never gonna make a perfect Justice League movie because I fundamentally disagree with him on how certain characters should be made, though.
Batman kills.
Yeah, no, that's one of those things. Like he fundamentally believes the Batman killing is a part of the character, which I just think is like fundamentally wrong.
That's specifically incorrect. That's like that struggle to kill or not to kill is literally the focal point of like a bunch of Batman stories.
And to be fair to his credit, if he's just reading the I forget the name of the comic now, but the one that the Batman vs Superman is based off of, where it's like Old Man Batman, where he's like completely gotten rid of his code and stuff like that. If that's the only comic that you read, then yeah, in that comic, Batman doesn't really give a shit about killing anymore because he's been broken down and stuff like that. But that's like not the Batman that normal people see and like watch. Like that's a very specific version of Batman and kind of an alternate universe kind of thing. right? But yeah, again, I just disagree with some of the how some of the characters think. I don't know, and again, like I don't know, with Superman, I don't think he treated Superman much better in some instances. I still think Superman didn't save people and stuff like that. He didn't feel
so
Superman.
many things. There are so many things I could talk about Man of Steel, of what they could have done, what they should have done, and what they didn't do. And why what they did was wrong, but that's not the movie that we're talking about, so I don't want to get into that.
One thing I want to say, though, about all this is that I do actually really, really, really like the casting of Henry Cavill as Superman.
Henry Cavill is Superman.
I really like
Superman.
it. Yeah, I really like it. I just wish he would get better scripts, bro. Like, give my man a good Superman script, man.
Let's just hope that Snyder's Justice League does so well that Warner Bros. Just go, oh yeah, no, we'll let you solely direct the next few DC movies or something.
And here's the thing, though, is that like Warner Brothers has had some hits recently. I haven't watched Wonder Woman 1984 yet. It's gotten some mixed reviews, I think, but like Aquaman was really good.
That's unfortunate. Aquaman was good.
Shazam was good.
Aquaman was visually stunning. It was such a beautiful movie.
And that movie came out like a year after this one, or like a year and a half.
And then Shazam was really good.
Shazam was good.
That was like the Deadpool of DC at this point. Well, not really, but like it was the comedy. It was a good comedy.
Yeah. And so like they've had some hits. It just again, I think a lot of the reasons that this movie also doesn't work is it comes down to how it was like the lead up to it. I want to remind you at this point when Justice League came out, there was a Man of Steel movie that came out in 2012, right? It was 2012. Mm-hmm. Then there was the Batman.
No.
Was it 13?
No, Man of Steel was 2013. Yeah,
2013. Then there was Batman versus Superman. All right. Which introduced Batman and Wonder Woman, and then there was Wonder Woman solo movie, and then this movie. This movie introduced Cyborg, Flash, and Aquaman.
Yeah, no. The reason that happened was because Batman v Superman came out around the same time as Civil War. Mm-hmm. They were trying to compete with Marvel. They shouldn't have done that. They should have just like dug their feet in, and they should have just made the Batman solo movie. They should have made the Wonder Woman solo movie. They should have built everybody up and then done the Justice League.
Absolutely,
it's a formula that Marvel proved worked.
Yeah, and not only that it works, but it's just like it's how you should do it, because when you introduce three main characters in a movie like this that's already too long and has too much shit going on, everyone's gonna be thin. Like I think that like. Anyone, like, I don't know. I don't think any of the characters really work in this movie because none of them get a good moment. Like, Flash is super useless in this movie. Like, Flash doesn't do shit in this movie. Like, what does Flash do in this movie? Why is he in the movie?
He just runs really fast and pushes people.
And even that, like, there's a scene coming up actually on this video clip that I have here where he runs and then a parademon just hits him and he falls. And I'm like, this dude is the fastest man alive. How did the parademon hit him when he was going, like, super fast? Like, why is this man so incompetent? You know what I mean? Like, I think that the reason they made him so incompetent was because they were like, how do we write for Flash? He's too overpowered. They're like, we don't know what the fuck to do. That's what happened. Like, right here. Look at this shit. My man's running and he gets hit by a parademon. Like, what the fuck, dude?
No, in this whole like sequence right here, I think they just gave up trying to find interesting ways to use the character, and they just shot him in the fucking leg.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they end up having to go and, like, stop Steppenwolf, and they have to do a bunch of things, right? How does his leg heal? This is, like, maybe an hour later. This part right here.
Yeah. And then Flash's entire thing was he's saving, like, the Russian family at the end. Like, he doesn't even help fight Steppenwolf. And then Cyborg, they cut Cyborg's entire backstory. Like, he doesn't have, like, the whole football player thing that's in, like, the deleted scenes and stuff like that. He's just like, hey, I'm Cyborg. Sup, dude? I'm here. Okay, what I will say though is I do love making Aquaman a bro. Like making him like the super like bro dude is kind of fucking hilarious. It's such an interesting take. Yeah, because it's like everyone's like Aquaman is so lame, and then also you're like, yeah, we're gonna get Jason Momoa and have him drink a bunch of alcohol. Like that's his character. Like that is so funny to me. Like I think that's why I think it worked in the Aquaman solo movie. I don't think it's super fantastic
because he's the closest thing to a normal human.
Yeah.
In the entire Justice League.
Well, there's Batman.
Batman's a rich dude, and he's got mental issues.
Yeah. Something else I want to say Batman is fucking useless in this movie.
He uses a lot of guns in this movie, and when he runs out of ammo, he doesn't just go and hit people. There's specifically only, I think, one scene that I can think of where he beats a couple of parademons with his gadgets.
So there's actually
the entire movie.
So in the tunnel scene, right? So tunnel scene is when they're underground or whatever in the tunnel.
Right.
Wonder Woman is 1v1ing Steppenwolf, right?
Yeah.
And Batman is struggling against one parademon, and I'm just like, they did my man Batman dirty, bro. My man is out here fighting for his life versus one parademon.
Could we just remember? Could we all just take a moment to remember the fact that Batman is like one of the few people that has actually been able to dodge Darkseid's Omega beams, which are homing.
Yeah. Like, look at this. Batman's getting beat the fucking shit out of him, and then he gets in his gigantic tank thing, and it doesn't even do anything either.
Yeah, no. He gets like ejected from it or something, and then Cyborg comes in and uses it.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know. I feel like if you're not fucking Wonder Woman or Superman in this movie, you don't do shit. Like, why are they here? I don't know. Like, would the movie fundamentally change if you didn't have Flash in it? Would the movie fundamentally change if you didn't have Aquaman in it?
The movie would be basically this. Actually, I was about to say the movie would be the same if you just had Superman. Except you kind of need Flash and Cyborg specifically.
You need to resurrect him
to bring Superman back.
But it's like, why did they do the Death of Superman story with the second movie Superman was in? Why did they do the Death of Superman the second movie he was in? Why? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard of, bro. What the fuck? Who thought that was a good idea? They jumped the gun and they were just trying to do fan service at that point.
Bro,
but why? Why? They fucked it so
hard. One of my biggest problems with this movie is that basically as soon as Superman comes in, all their problems should be invalidated because the scene with the Flash and Superman proves that the Flash is basically useless next to Superman's speed. Right? Yep. The fastest man alive is no longer the fastest man alive.
Yep.
Seeing Wonder Woman 1v1 Steppenwolf, and she's having a hard time, but it's happening, right? And then he just kind of claps her.
Yeah.
And invalidates Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Superman just makes it so that everyone else is fucking useless. And then at the end, Cyborg is like, hey, I can't do this without you, Superman. I need you to break these things apart. Like, Superman just fixes everything. No one else does anything in this movie.
Also, don't forget as well. They also kind of, it's played off as a joke, but also it kind of irritates me like a lot. Talking about when they were saving people, the Flash gets like that one Russian family or whatever, right?
Yeah,
and then Superman flies in with an entire building.
Yeah.
It's played off as like a joke, but like literally.
Why is Flash there then? It's yeah. I'm angry.
You should have cleared that entire building before Supes even got there.
Yeah. No, I mean it's like it's weird. It's like this movie didn't want to make anyone overpowered except for Superman. You know what I mean? It's like, they were like afraid because DC's whole thing was that everyone's overpowered, right? Like Marvel is more like, and I don't even want to say like holy, but like generally a lot of Marvel characters are more like down to earth, slightly like less powerful.
Yeah.
But like DC is that like
that the Avengers works is that they can't beat them alone; they have to do it together.
Yeah. And then like fucking Justice League and DC is more like, hey, listen, everyone's fucking broken as shit, but then we have these broken as shit villains too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think they leaned into that enough.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
And then this isn't even talking about Steppenwolf. Like Steppenwolf is so generic. Doesn't even like fit it. Like that's an understatement. Like what is do you remember a fucking goddamn thing Steppenwolf said to you in this movie? I don't remember a goddamn thing Steppenwolf said to me yesterday when I watched the clips. I think he said mother a lot.
There is in fact a mother box, yes, but I don't think he called it the mother box a lot. I think he just called it mom.
Mother. I'm evil and my mom is here. Like,
oh my god,
bro, like I think the issue here's something I thought of the other day. a lot of times Marvel movies get criticized because their villains are bad, but then they have
Yeah,
good heroes to fall back on because they have very full-fleshed heroes. In this
yeah,
movie, the villain is terrible and not fleshed out, but the heroes also aren't fleshed out at all, and so everything is flat.
yeah.
And so things just keep happening, and you're like, do I care? Who are these people? I just met 3 of them. This villain looks like shit. He looks like he was rendered on a PS2. Like, what is happening?
Okay, what do you think of the preview renderings of Steppenwolf for the Snyder cut?
I've not watched the trailer in a hot minute. But they
Okay,
definitely looked better.
he looks
Not
better,
difficult
but
to
the
look
problem is
better.
that he looks yeah, but okay, so one problem that I would probably have with the new one is that his character design looks too like it's too busy almost.
That's
Like he
fair.
has so many tiny little spikes on his armor.
Yeah.
It does look better than what we got, but I don't know if it's like a good better or just a different better.
It also might be more closer to the comics. I remember reading that like the Steppenwolf in this movie is very not at all what Steppenwolf looks like in the comics. I don't know this to be true or not.
I feel like
what the new
wasn't
one is.
Steppenwolf basically like a side, like he was he a side character that just gets clapped a lot? Is he like because like he's supposed to be the vanguard for Darkseid, right?
I know that, yeah.
Yeah, but how actually dangerous is he? Are we talking like say for instance oh god, what's his name? Uh the weird looking sneaky dude from Infinity War with the thing that he stabs Vision in the back
Oh.
with the spear.
Yeah. I don't know his name.
Yeah, is he like him, or is like kind of dangerous but he gets clapped easily, or are we talking like Silver Surfer levels of Vanguard?
Yeah, I don't know.
Those are two very different things.
I actually do not know. Again, I'm not as well informed on DC Comics personally.
Yeah, I know a bit more, but like, yeah, that's oof.
So I have a couple more. Is there anything else you want to say on that topic? I had a couple more notes I wanted to go through.
I mean, I did the whole thing about like Superman basically invalidating the entire Justice League in that one scene. Aquaman has okay, so it's a cool scene in the tunnel, but he has trouble holding back a fucking little tiny flood in a tunnel.
Yeah,
the man should be able to hold back like at least
the amount of water should not matter. He controls the ocean.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's fine. I'm not mad. It's fine.
Stop asking.
Yeah, basically.
Let's see here. There's a couple things. Oh, okay. So there's the scene where Batman goes to recruit Aquaman, right? And he's as Bruce Wayne, and they're just casually strolling across this village, and Bruce Wayne tells him that he's Batman. And I'm just
fuck.
I was so shocked. And not only that, but like they're talking about like Aquaman makes him like you dress up as a bat as they're walking past people. Like, just random civilians, and I'm like, Batman's secret identity, like, this gigantic thing. Yeah, he says that line later in reference to it, and I was like, shook, I was like, I don't know, I mean, again, it's a different version, maybe he doesn't care about his secret identity, but I'm just like, that's just wild to me that he's like, hey, listen, bro, I'm Batman, and we can talk about it in front of these people. Like,
doesn't he literally have, like, that's the, that was the whole thing about, like, oh god, Arkham Knight, right? That's like he has like a literal kill switch if he ever gets found out.
Yeah, that's an Arkham Knight. Again, this is a different version of Batman, so it's totally plausible that there's like a different set of rules for that. But it feels wrong to me, and it just played so nonchalantly, and I'm like, the fuck.
Yeah, I feel that.
Let's see here. Oh, like so again, because this movie is so spread thin, like they have like 2 seconds where Superman is evil because he just brought back to life and he doesn't remember anything. He's like, tell me to bleed, and I was like, that was cool. But then it's over so quickly, and I'm like, why couldn't the entire movie have been like bringing Superman back and him being evil and trying to get him back? Like, that sounds fun. I don't know, like, you're not even the full movie, like longer than 5 minutes.
It could have been interesting if they just kind of instead of like Steppenwolf gets built up to be this big baddie, and then when they bring Superman back and he's like still evil, Steppenwolf kind of shows up because he wants the mother box, and Superman just kind of claps him into orbit.
Yeah.
Now Superman's the villain.
Yeah, That'd be interesting.
That would have been more interesting than what we got. I think where I'm a big fan of Justice. I heard that. Da, 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 da. It's so cheesy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not mad. Stop asking.
I'm mad. Stop asking. I was gonna say something. I don't remember what it was. Oh yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot about the mustache thing. By the way, do you remember that?
How have you forgotten about that?
I blocked it out of my memory. I blocked it out, bro. I
That's
swear.
like the first thing I think of when I think of Justice League. It's like Justice League. Oh yeah, that the first opening bit is just.
I don't think it's just the opening
mustache.
bit. I think that the rest of it has some of it too. I think it's intermixed a little bit.
Yeah. The end scene where they do the race. That's Scott actually got a screenshot of that when I was rewatching the clips for this earlier. Because I was going back frame by frame because I saw something funky. Wait, is this the first time I get to show it? Show
Sure.
a thing?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Give me a sec.
Yeah, we've been. I mean, again, I had some talking points for this one. Probably be a little bit less structured than the next one because, again, I think it's easier. I've discovered from making video essays, it's easier to talk about things longer when you don't like them than it is when you like them. Because when you like them, you're like, yeah, this was good, and then you kind of, So I think it's more free flowy when it's talking about good stuff, and it's easier to be like structured when you don't like it. That's what I found at least.
Okay, so this is what I found. Going frame by frame.
Oh, that looks so
that
bad.
is not an upper lip.
It's not.
That is not an upper lip.
Oh god, it looks so bad. Bro, I can actually visualize where the fucking mustache is.
Yeah.
It's just still there. Holy shit, they did such a bad job, bro. Holy shit. Oh my god.
If I remember right, they had like either 6 or 10 days to erase the mustache.
Bro,
and they
delay your movie, bro.
They sent it out to like I think 2 different companies picked up the job, and they decided to go with this.
Bro, delay your movie if you gotta do that, bro. Delay your movie, bro. Like cut your losses, bro.
Just end it.
You're already about to lose 100 million. What's waiting to lose 100 million? You know what I mean? Because this movie did lose 100 million. Which hilariously, I think that this movie tanking so badly is one of the reasons that they're letting Zack Snyder redo it, because they want to get some of their money back. And then if he was like, hey, listen, you give me a little bit more money and I'll just remake the thing. They're like, hey, listen, yeah, okay, you want to reuse the thing that we lost money on and make more money on it? Yeah. All right. Bet. Is there anything that you wanted to say about Superman? I feel like
I can't talk about Superman because if I talk about Superman, I'm inevitably going to go back to Man of Steel and what they should have done, and that's just one of these days you're just gonna have to let me talk about like the entire DCEU Superman story arc and why it is trash, and I cry because it could be so much better. They had it right there in front of them.
We can do it whenever you want, brother. Whenever.
Send it.
We control our own destiny in our own podcast.
I'd probably be sitting here for like an hour and a half talking about Superman.
I'd be down.
No, that's it. Nobody would find that good. It'd be boring.
We've been sitting here about for 40 minutes talking about Justice League. What's the difference?
That's fair. It's been 40 minutes, bro. I think this is. Wait, has it actually?
I don't know. I haven't been keeping track super.
How long are the spoiler zones usually?
They range. They've only been 2 of them, so like an hour and a half.
Oh, actually, that's not bad. This is one of the longer ones, I think.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be one of the longer ones, unless we kind of just give When Harry Met Sally the shaft, kind of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can take as long as you want, though. I mean, I'm not doing nothing.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you want to say about Justice League? I feel like we've said everything. It just makes me sad. Again, I do want to say one thing for the record, really quickly. I want to see DC succeed, but I'm gonna call them out for all their shit. Like, I'm not gonna like sit here and sugarcoat how I feel about these movies because I think Urban kind of wants to sometimes because he really wants these movies to succeed and he doesn't think that they're that bad. But for me, I'm like, I want to see good DC movies. I love like the Nolan trilogy for Batman, and I want to see them do good, but they're not, and I'm gonna keep saying it because my opinion matters. At this point, we're gonna talk for a couple more minutes. If you have a burning question that you want us to answer about Justice League, use a highlighted message in the chat, and we'll talk about that. We'll answer those questions.
I'm gonna put a stream marker there. I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom, and then when I get back, we can.
Okay. Well, apparently he's gonna go.
Yeah. Well, no, because like it's they can just we just get like a big queue going, and then we can
For sure. Breaks in our podcast. Exactly what I wanted. Exactly.
Are you serious now?
Exactly. Go use the bathroom, motherfucker. You should have used it before we started.
You can talk enough for the both of us. Eat shit.
See here. I'll look back and see if there's any like regular things in the chat we can talk about really quickly. It's just an Aquaman is a little bitch. Okay. Yeah, sound alerts are off. Yeah, guys, sorry, sound alerts are off. It just doesn't make sense for a podcast to have the sound alerts that Urban normally does.
I'm back. Hello.
Hello. So let's see here. So Black has a question.
Okay.
Are the bad guys supposed to look like bugs?
They're parademons. They are actually they're supposed to look like this.
They're supposed to look like demons. Parademons are actually pretty cool. Like regular art of them, like in like the comics and stuff like that, is actually pretty good. Also, I think Mag may have subscribed to you. I'm unclear. Did he do that before?
Yes, he did. I said that earlier.
Okay,
yeah.
I couldn't remember.
They look like these.
Yeah, so they actually look kind of cool. Not like they did in the movie.
Yeah.
They just look so. I don't know why movies decide to use gray as their default color palette for like bad guys, and I'm just like, maybe some color would be cool, Chief. Yeah, maybe some color would be cool, Chief. All right. Ace had a question. Do you think that Justice League would have been better if it had had the build-up of the Avengers, i.e., they went straight from Man of Steel to Justice, as opposed to the entire Phase 1 of Marvel with Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, etc.? I do think, I think it would have just been better
if they had properly built everybody's character in their own movies. That basically means that the first half of the movie of Justice League is basically not necessary.
Yeah, because
which means that's an entire first half of the movie that can be spent developing other things, like explaining like Steppenwolf's like whole deal. Perhaps even starting Superman's resurrection earlier.
Yeah, because Doomsday is not Doomsday. What's his face? What's the main Darkseid? Yeah, Darkseid is the main guy, right? So if you want to go through and like make a movie like a franchise like that, you build them up like that, right? And then if you have your characters pre-established, you don't have to have them meeting up as much, right? Or maybe if you do, you don't have to spend a whole lot of time doing it, right? And then it's easy for everyone to buy into the movie. You don't have to spend. It's not. You don't have to spread yourself out as thin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I also think that the issue goes back even further than Justice League. It goes back to Batman vs Superman being like the second movie in the fucking franchise. They really
wherein they introduce Batman not in his own solo movie, and then they kill Superman.
No, and if
with one of the best Superman arcs in comic history outside of like Superman All-Star.
No, and like so they really so what they needed to do if they wanted to make Batman vs Superman work, if you want to go that far back, have a Batman movie to start where you make the character a character, so you explain his feelings and his motivations, and then maybe even have the Wonder Woman movie happen before Batman vs Superman 2 because she's introduced in that as well, and then from there recast your fucking your Lex Luthor, do that. Love Jesse Eisenberg to death. Recast your Lex Luthor.
See, here's the thing. The weirdest part that I think even Jesse Eisenberg talks about is that when he was cast, he was kind of confused. It was just like, okay, so how do you want me to do the character and stuff like that? And they just be you. And he was so fucking confused because I assume just because of the characters that he plays, he is in fact also a nerd.
Yeah.
So he knows what Lex Luthor is supposed to be. He's supposed to be a charismatic businessman.
Yep.
And instead we got
a legitimate businessman?
Spoiled. Fucking hell.
Sorry.
Trying to run a legitimate business.
Sorry.
This is a podcast. It's not.
Yes.
We're supposed to be doing things.
Yes, of course.
But yeah, no, he's supposed to be like a legitimate businessman, but instead we fuck. I can get through that one. But instead we get a spoiled rich preppy kid. I don't even know what he was supposed to be. He didn't even come across as being smart.
It was very unclear. Like, again, they introduced Lex Luthor in that movie too, and it was like, why is Lex Luthor trying to kill Superman? Why doesn't he like Superman? Like fucking, your Lex Luthor should have been in the Superman movie, DC. I'm not angry. Yeah. I'm a little angry. I'm very angry, actually. Fuck these movies.
Lex Luthor could have been, in fact, teased properly in Man of Steel. That would have been perfectly fine. Wait, wasn't?
I don't care. No, I want him in my actual fucking movie.
Luthor Corps was.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about the Corps. I give a shit about Luthor.
He gets bald at the end. But...
Yeah. Well, okay. So I think that we probably answered that question. I agree.
Yeah.
Ace also asked, could there have been a better villain than Darkseid?
Brainiac.
Yeah, Brainiac could have been cool.
Brainiac is also another bopper. That's a Justice League
Brainiac is fun.
Level threat.
Yeah. I think that there are a lot of other cool threats. I think it actually would have been interesting. Like to do something like the original animated series. Remember they had that animated movie, where it wasn't Brainiac, it was like the Martians, like the evil Martians coming down and stuff like that. That could have been kind of cool.
They could have also introduced Martian Manhunter in there as well.
I think the issue though is that this you haven't seen this movie yet because we haven't shown it to you on the animated movies, but in the New 52 they kind of followed the Justice League introduction in the New 52, where Cyborg is a main like original member of the Justice League and Martian Manhunter isn't. And so the threat that makes the Justice League come together is Darkseid. And I think that was the original plan for this movie, and then they kind of watered it down when the whole issues kind of came together.
I don't think they should have used Steppenwolf as the thing.
No. Jesus.
I don't think Steppenwolf
you don't do Steppenwolf. You do Darkseid or you don't do Darkseid. Like, come on, boys.
You like they could have been like teasing Darkseid in this movie, but also this movie was supposed to, it's so...
You know what they could have done? I just had a thought. So like imagine a world where like they like do like all the Stallone movies for other movies. So you have like a Flash movie, a Cyborg movie, like a Superman movie and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah.
You could do the fucking what's the name is it the Legion of Doom? Is that what it's called? Where like all the villains team up? Like, that's something that I don't think Marvel villains do as much, where they team up and, like, all work together. Like, that's something that Justice League, just like DC movies do a lot, or, like, DC comics do a lot. That sounds
like the bad guys teaming up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that just sounds fun.
I've now remembered a much less good, a slightly better superhero movie than this, but also not a high bar to clear.
Yeah, that's not a high bar at all. But yeah, no, I definitely
kind of suicide.
What are we? Some kind of suicide? God damn it, bro! Why did you introduce Joker in that movie? Why did you introduce Joker in that movie?
Joker literally didn't need to be introduced in that movie.
I want to die, bro.
The new one actually looks. I hope the new one's gonna be good.
It looks good. James Gunn. James Gunn.
Yeah, James Gunn. They have enough confidence in it that they're already working on a Peacemaker uh, TV series with John
Yeah.
Cena, which will be pretty fun. It'll be fun watching John Cena of all people swear.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. Actually, it'll be hilarious if he's the one character in like an R-rated movie that doesn't swear.
Yeah. That'd be kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Any other last minute questions on Justice League? Make sure that you highlight your chat with your channel points.
Yep.
Otherwise, we're gonna move on.
Otherwise, we
move on in a minute.
We can in fact move on to the next one on the list.
Again, Justice League is an interesting movie too, because you hadn't seen Justice League before we watched together, though, right? If I remember correctly. We watched it together for the first time.
The whole reason? That was the whole reason that I wanted to watch it, right?
Yeah, because you hadn't seen it because you didn't watch it in theaters.
And you had, and you had some very terrible feelings. Same as with Glass.
Yeah.
You saw it and I didn't, and I still wanted to watch it.
Fuck Glass.
You were cursed with knowledge.
I'm not gonna talk about it right now, but Glass is another one of the movies I did not like from our movie list. That'll be later though. That comes later. I can't do the Bane voice.
That comes like a lot later.
I mean, if we do 4 at a time and we do it more regularly, I'm down to do these fairly regularly. We just gotta get the animation stuff. I want to point out while we're waiting if anyone has any questions. Urban made these VHS things from scratch. He did a lot of work on them. They're 3D and they're very cool. I think. And then I went and put the actual video clips together that are edited.
They're literally just like little 3D box. It's just a 3D box that
You're selling it so short. They look super cool and they're all made from scratch. I think the only one that's actually a VHS cover is the Indiana Jones one. All the other ones are not.
Well, I mean, no, that's a lie. When Harry Met Sally is also a VHS cover.
I think that's just the poster.
I told you that. Fuck.
Alright, so it looks like we're ready to move on to the next thing. So yeah, let's move on to Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay, alright, here we go. Ready for this? Bop! Easy clap. Okay, alright, I have to minimize chat now, so I don't get distracted, because I will respond on instinct.
Nice. Okay, so so remind me here. You hadn't seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, right?
Yes, I was a heathen. I hadn't watched Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Now, was there a reason you hadn't seen it? Was it just something that never came up? Was it like you didn't think it was going to be good? Like I feel like we talked about this at the time. I'm trying to remember like where you were before we watched it.
It was one of those movies that I just kind of wasn't that interested in because if I wanted to watch like a movie like this, I would have probably just gone to like The Goonies or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had my own list of movies that were kind of similar to this that I could have gone to.
Okay.
Indiana Jones is kind of. Also, I think Mom didn't like Indiana Jones that much.
Really?
I think she thought it was. Yeah, I think she found it boring. So basically, like I was just kind of like, oh, it's boring. Oh, okay. If she thinks it's boring, it must be really boring.
Yeah.
Because
So I think
dumb kid probably had ADHD.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. I think Indiana Jones is like the penultimate, like the platonic idea of an adventure movie. Like I think that like a lot of adventure movies fall flat and are not good. But I think that Indiana Jones emulates everything that you want. Like it's kind of campy, but never crosses the line of too much, right?
Yeah.
It's got you laughing at
I saw that. Yeah. It's like it's the best part of the whole movie, I think.
Do you know the story behind that?
He had dysentery or something, right?
Yeah, he was. This story's varied, but basically he was sick, and it wasn't in the script originally for him just to shoot him. So then he was like, either he imprompted it or he changed the script the day of. He's like, hey, listen, I'm not doing this. But yeah, no, I think that Harrison Ford is a fantastic actor in this.
Yeah.
It's also interesting. Like, I think that he likes Indiana Jones more than he likes Star Wars.
I don't think he liked Han Solo, right? He wanted Han to die like by the 5th movie, didn't he?
You mean
like at the end of the 5th movie? I think.
Yeah.
The carbonite thing was supposed to be like, oh yeah, no, we're not.
So.
Like he's gone. The bounty's been cashed in. He's somewhere else. He's probably dead.
Yeah, I know that he didn't want to be typecast, kind of thing.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, he didn't. He worked his ass off to make sure he wasn't typecast.
No. He has so many fantastic movies.
Yeah.
But Indiana Jones is just I hate I hesitate to use this word because it's a word I don't like to throw around very easily, but it's just a classic. Like I don't think that any movie has touched the adventure genre in the way that Indiana Jones does. Hilariously, down the line, the only other movies that I've ever gotten the same vibes from that I felt did it at least close in quality was the Mummy series. Hilariously to me, I don't think I've found another series that have done it as well as the Mummy.
I'm so excited to talk about the Mummy.
We're not there yet, but I wanted to allude to that.
How far away is it? It has to be.
It's been a while. Not super far. That was kind of early.
It's gotta be super
Remember,
far
that
away.
was before the 2020 movie list craze extravaganza.
Hilariously, I want to get to some of the movies I don't have to rewatch clips for, because those are going to be the ones I'm going to have a lot of fun with.
Yeah. But yeah, so this movie,
I found it.
Oh, you found it? What'd you find?
It's very far away. It's like at least 4 episodes away.
It's not even that far.
Oh, it's 5 episodes away.
Oh, a little bit further.
I'm so sad. It's fine.
There are so many classic scenes in this movie, though. Like, there's so many people that haven't seen Indiana Jones or haven't seen him for forever. There's so many classic scenes. Like this scene right here, where he puts the weight on the thing, or the shooting scene, or just any of the whip scenes, or grabbing the hat. Like that's iconic. The boulder, right?
The boulder, I think is really good.
Yeah.
Boulder has conflicted.
I was just gonna say that.
yeah. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm a child.
No, you're good. I think. Again, this is just the first movie in the series, and I think that the series has more issues as you go further down the line. But if we're just talking about the first movie, I think that the romance is a little ham-fisted, a little, tiny bit, the tiniest of bits. Would you agree? Tiny.
Yeah. That's yes, indeed.
I also think that this movie is fucking funny. This movie
does.
No,
the comedy is actually really good.
I love I also love the act. I don't know, they do comedic action very well in this movie. Where for example, when Indiana Jones is punching the big dude and he punches him and nothing happens and he's just oh. Or the scene where the girl, I forget her name now, I think it's Marie, she sees the dude coming at her with a sword and she's like, oh, and then she runs and she grabs a frying pan.
Yeah.
Or the scene where Indiana Jones is he got caught and they're like, hey, listen, what are you doing in your uniform? And then he punches him and takes the uniform and puts the hat on. There's so many just comedic moments through action. I think a lot of movies nowadays they focus too much on dialogue comedy. And you can have comedy that's just in the movement of the characters that doesn't become slapstick, right?
Yeah.
I feel like there's for a lot of modern movies, it's either jokes or slapstick, and there really isn't an in between. But I think this movie does the in between really, really well, and never gets boring. Never gets boring. This is a movie that you can rewatch all the time. Me and my friends in college, we watched the Indiana Jones movies during Halloween of all times.
I don't think I've actually rewatched this movie yet. I'm gonna have to find it online somewhere.
Well, you've only watched it for what's it called? Recently for the first time though, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a little bit different. I saw this movie when I was not a kid,
recently
but I was
is a strong
12.
word. This is from 2018, my guy.
2.5 years. It's still pretty recent.
I mean, yeah, but also
it's about time to rewatch. Harrison Ford is so charismatic in this role too. What's interesting to me too is that in a lot of ways you can kind of think of Han Solo and Indiana Jones being similar, but I've never gotten the two conflicted or confused. I don't know why.
They're suave in slightly in different ways.
That's fair. Yeah. I wonder if that was more of an issue when they came out. Actually,
Han knows he's hot shit, and then Indiana Jones is hot shit.
That's fair. Yeah.
I think I'd probably make the distinction for that.
No, that's definitely fair. I also like that this movie, and one of the things this movie does pretty good, I think, is also the air of mystery. There's always you're trying to get the treasure. Everyone's trying to again, you have an opposing force, but the opposing force is not very important in this movie. I think it's pretty forgettable. I think it is just the Nazis, and they hired some archaeologist dude that it doesn't like Indiana Jones. I think that's the enemy, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, that reminds. I just remembered the ending. That in this universe, religion exists. Christianity is real.
yeah.
Multiple religions exist. Wait, hold on. Aliens exist.
Yeah, again, so I was gonna talk about this a little bit later, but again, let's just stick with the first movie here for a second. But
Okay.
Indiana Jones is very, very, very grounded in a sense, right? Like it's just you're going on a mission, you're trying to get archaeological stuff, right?
Yeah.
But at the end, it kind of goes to like supernatural in like a very hardcore way. But it never feels out of place. It just feels like,
shit.
It just
feels like the
this
third
is
act.
Yeah, it's like,
This is what the movie was building up for.
Yeah, this is what's been building up to because it's so important that you're trying to get it right. And I think all the Indiana Jones movies do this well to varying degrees. But like, I think this is also like, I think this is why the Naughty Dog Uncharted games work because I think they are the Indiana Jones games. Right, like they do Indiana Jones in game form.
That
like no
explains
one
why
else
you
ever
like them
does.
so much. Actually,
I
I never made the distinction.
Have you not?
No, I never made. I never made.
They
never
do.
made that connection.
Not to spoil too much about the Uncharted games, but basically, like they have the same thing. Nathan Drake is a charismatic person who's trying to find treasure. They go through. There's an antagonist force that doesn't super matter. They fight. They try to get it. They get double crossed. There's a girl that he likes. Generally, in the third act, there's some kind of supernatural element where it's like the treasure has more of a meaning, right? It really, 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 really borrows from Indiana Jones in game form.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons I like them. I mean, I think they do different things in general, because of the different mediums. But
yeah,
it is the closest thing I think to an Indiana Jones game will ever get.
I still remember that the short film that you showed me with Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, that's a good film. That
was so good.
If you haven't seen that, I recommend looking at it. It's on YouTube. It's like a 18-minute short film with Nathan Fillion in it. It's super good. Yeah. Anything else? Oh, dude, the music for this movie slaps, bro. The music is so good. Oh my god. The Indiana Jones theme song is so good.
Yeah.
Like, would you agree?
It's really good. It's John Williams, dude, of course.
Yeah, John Williams is the man.
Yeah, he's the man. He's the man.
He's the man.
Okay. Here. Copy link out.
Are you pasting the thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's the one. I hope that's the one. Jesus. It's probably.
Oh, dude, the ending where like they get their faces melted off is still horrifying to me. Like I think it's claymation. Like it doesn't look like fantastic, but it's still kind of horrifying in my opinion.
Oh yeah. That
like it's like, oh shit.
I really didn't need to remember that. I specifically skipped that one clip when I was rewatching it.
Yeah.
I think I have to redefine the word horror.
We'll get to that. That comes later. So that'd be interesting to talk about. I also what's actually interesting to me too that I thought about when I was rewatching the clips? How unique of a weapon it is to have your main character have, which his main weapon is a whip. Like obviously I think he uses guns sometimes, but like for the most part he uses the whip. He
specifically uses his gun at least one time.
Yeah. But like having like the main weapon that they have is a whip is so interesting and unique, I feel like.
Oh, hold on. Should I break the illusion for a second?
Sure.
Okay. Look at it. It's young Alfred Molina. Oh my god.
The power of the universe and the power of the sun upon my hands.
Sorry, I'm a nerd. It's fine. Continue, please.
God damn it. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the whip. Do you think about the whip? Right, the whip is super interesting. Like weapon to have your main character have is like the main weapon. Would you agree with that? Like it's unique.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, it's super unique.
Like I think that's the thing that makes Indiana Jones like he has like the slightly popped like collared shirt. He has the hat. He has the whip. Right, like everything about it is like iconic.
It's good character design.
Character design is on point. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think we talked about the comedy and the action, but I do want to say that the action set pieces are really good. Like it's very varied, very varied. Nice.
Very, very,
Very, very.
yes, indeed.
But no, they are though. Like the set pieces never
I
like.
I get what you mean. They're good.
Like there's one where like they're fighting around like a moving plane that has like the thing on, right, and it kills the dude, which is such an interesting like fighting.
That was
space.
a big dude, right? That
was the big dude. He
couldn't
couldn't fucking put down. He couldn't do anything to. And then they have the entire chase in like the one town, right, where they're trying to run around, and he has like Marie on the cart, and then she hides in the basket and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love the punch sound effect too. It's so good.
punches from the old movies were always they were very beefy.
Yeah, they're very good. Very good.
Oh, speaking of sound, there is something that I do want to talk about. This movie, if I remember right, which I was kind of out of it when I was rewatching the clips this morning. This movie is it comes from like the generation of movies that very similar to like Mad Max, where the movie is the music is like a much larger piece of the entire movie than like say for instance Star Wars. I don't think Star Wars had like super overpowering music.
Yeah.
Like Indiana Jones and
yeah.
I don't know if you ever watched it, but like the first Mad Max movie, not Road Warrior, but like the first one.
I have not.
Where civilization kind of still exists.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. It's very it's kind of similar to that, where it's like I don't know, it's kind of interesting where it's like these are almost like they're like almost a silent movie, but there's dialogue.
Yeah.
And sound effects.
Yeah.
Like the music takes the forefront. The dialogue is like second.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel that. Yeah.
I don't know. I always thought that was pretty interesting because that happens for all three of the movies. I don't think it does that in the fourth one, but we don't talk about the fourth one.
Well, we will talk about the fourth one specifically when we get there.
Yeah, but also we don't have to talk about it early.
That's
fair.
What
I'm trying to say.
That is fair. That is very, very, very fair. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you that. I was gonna tell you a joke before before this we recorded it, but I want to say it now because I forgot. We need to make sure that we don't dox ourselves since we're live. Why aren't you laughing?
What?
So we need to make sure we don't dox ourselves since we're live. Remember in the both of the past spoiler zones I had to cut out because we doxed each other?
I just realized something.
What?
So I just realized something.
What?
I have crickets outside of my window right now.
You can't really hear them.
Yeah, no, you can't hear it, but the stream can.
Oh, it's different?
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
It's truly unfortunate. There's not really much I can do. I'm just gonna have to mute it a lot.
Is there anything else in Indiana Jones, in terms of Indiana Jones, you want to talk about? I think overall it's very good. I think there's very little I would say is wrong with it because what it sets out to do, it does. It's entertaining. It doesn't feel too long. The pacing is good. Everything is great. I think that in general, I mean, they kind of sideline the girl a little bit, which is a little unfortunate.
I think they, yeah.
But I mean, it's whatever. You know, it doesn't break the movie or anything. It was a different time, yeah. I mean, it's almost Jesus. I think this movie came out in '81. I think this movie is 40 years old this year.
Please stop.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
crazy. All right. Well, I guess at this point we'll start taking questions.
Oh, okay, cool. I forgot to do the stream marker on when I started this, so I'm just gonna have to go in and remember probably.
All right. So again, if you have any questions, put in the chat with your highlighted message, and we'll answer them.
Help me, I'm dying.
You're fine.
All right. How much of chat did we miss?
Well,
not a lot, actually.
Not too much.
Yeah.
Black has a question in highlight already.
Okay.
Did Indiana Jones create the tropes like the boulder weight trap? Yes, pretty much. I will, as far as I'm aware, there might be something where it was before it, right? But I would definitely say that Indiana Jones popularized it at the very least, right? Um, for the most part, when someone does a boulder in their movie or like the weight trap, you think back to Indiana Jones. So it very much popularized it in like public opinion. Indiana Jones did it, but it might be a thing where someone else did it first, but they weren't as popular. It's significantly possible. Let's see here. Anything else in chat that I want to say?
There it is again. Hold on.
Let's see here. John. God damn it. Did you see the message from John Urban?
No. Where is it?
In the chat? John, I think the answer would be no.
But why? Why, John?
Why, John? Why have you done this, John?
why have you put this into the
Ace
world?
disagree. Disagree. God damn it. This is the first wrong opinion you guys have had.
Very cool. Oh, God, very cool.
I'm dead, bro. I'm fucking dead. You know, actually, when I was younger, actually, there was this in like the Young Indiana Jones book series that I used to read, which was pretty cool. So I wonder if there's like a girl version of Indiana Jones out there, maybe somewhere. I'm sure there's a fanfic or something.
What is it?
Huh?
Indiana Jones?
It was like Young Indiana Jones or something like that. It was a book series. I used to read it when I was in elementary school. Apparently, Gloria's clipping us laughing, so. You able to find it?
This stuff, right?
Let me see. A little small. Yeah. This is Young Indiana Jones. Hilariously, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm wondering if like young Nathan Drake in like the games came from that. Because like,
it's very possible.
Because like, you know, like the new movie that they're making, it has like Nathan Drake as younger. It's set when like he was younger. That's why Tom Holland is playing it.
Fucking hell, Ace. Why?
Ace, calm down. You need to stop. You need to be stopped. Have you guys ever read the Geronimo Stilton books? I think he was based on Indiana Jones. I have not read those before. You want to pull those up, Urban? Geronimo Stilton? It's Black asking that. It's so small. Yeah, no, I've not seen these before. Actually, maybe the is that like a fox? What is that? I actually may have seen these in elementary school.
I may have seen these before.
They're mouses. He's a mouse. Okay. No, I do actually think I've heard of these before. Yeah, I think they were more Detective Ace, if I'm remembering correctly. I think it's got Indiana Jones vibes, though. Yeah, I've definitely seen this before. There's like a deep, dark memory hidden in my subconscious. They were more mystery or horror, etc. Interesting.
Apparently, this is Italian or Italy.
I'm sure there's an English translation, though.
Wait, hold on. If Mag's still here, does Mag know these?
Mag, you there? Have you seen this before? Have you had any recollection of this place? Oh, also, I wanted to mention really quickly something else I forgot to say. I think the ending is hilariously mysterious. That's a phrase of words I've never said before in my life. Where like Indiana Jones like finds, again, it's the legitimate arc, right? and it like legitimately has powers, like religion exists, right? And then the U.S. government, he gives it to the U.S. government. They're like, no, we'll take care of it, and they just put it in a gigantic warehouse full of shit, implying that things like this happen all the time for the U.S. government. Which is crazy.
Yeah, the Indiana Jones universe is really fucking weird.
Buck wild, bro. Especially with some of the shit they do in the later movies, right? But like nothing's kind of off the table, which is interesting again because like in the 80s, a lot of times like supernatural stuff, I feel like people didn't consider that to be mainstream or like possible to do in mainstream, right? That always felt for in the 80s and like early, you know, earlier. At least I always thought in general that people felt they were like more subsection, like you couldn't get away with that in a big movie, which is like people never thought like Marvel movies would work, for example, because they were too out there, right? Which is interesting to me because I feel like Indiana Jones just has that, and no one ever questioned it. They were just like, "Yep, this is it."
Do me a favor, carry the conversation for a little bit. I'm gonna go take a fucking flamethrower to my backyard. I swear to God, these crickets are driving me nuts.
Really? Oh my god. Yeah, maybe.
No, I actually just have to use the bathroom.
Oh god, you just went to the bathroom. All right, well, it's just me here, chat. We're gonna wait for another minute. If you have any other last minute questions, for future podcast streams, you guys should consider putting the Twitch chat on the side sometimes. That's fair, Chloe. We talked about it earlier. Basically, for the structure, we're not gonna interact with chat when we're talking in the main part, and then we're gonna interact with chat at the end for questions. So that's kind of why we weren't doing that. We didn't want to distract from it. The version that'll go on YouTube, if you want to go back and watch it on my channel, youtube.com/Bryce Fairless is my YouTube channel. If you want to check out Bomb Video Essays and The Spoiler Zone, there's two other episodes that are on there that were recorded not live. Just plugging that in there, you know what I'm saying? Big plug. The link to my channel is in Urban's Friends, and I can also link it really quickly. I can just link it in the chat. If you want to listen to some Bomb Video Essays, you got that there. Oh, Black got me. Thank you, Black. There you go. There's a link to my channel. But yeah, so that's why the YouTube version won't have any of the chat and any of the overlays that he has. Yeah. Since I'm mad subscribe, let's go. But yeah, that's why we weren't doing that. We might do that next time. We're still figuring out the live element. Because the not live element, I did everything at the end. that plug command actually works. I'm dead, bro. I'm working on another video essay, by the way. I'll say that on the stream. I don't know when it's gonna come out. Hopefully soon. So look out for that if that's something that you're interested in, boys. I think Urban's back though, so we're gonna move on to John Wick 2.
Hi, how's it going?
Right. We're gonna move on to John Wick 2. Okay. Chloe was talking about stuff.
Really quick before we swap over, is it? I'm gonna stay quiet for a little bit. Is the cricket still coming through if I'm not muted?
That is a question for the chat, I believe, right? Not for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, if I'm not talking. If I'm not talking.
Oh, that's interesting, actually. Urban says Chloe says that we should have the chat up when we're talking with chat on your stream.
Oh, that would be so smart.
So he says have a button for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna put a button for it, but it's literally just
that's really smart, Chloe. We'll do that.
Yeah.
I do not know what tea Indiana Jones would drink. He's a traveled man, so I assume he would have some exotic teas, Black. My man, he wouldn't have time for like crazy stuff. He would do something simple but like exotic. Like he'd probably drink some chai tea, I gotta imagine, but like it would be like more simple. Maybe no sugar. I doubt he drinks sugar, has sugar in his tea. You know what I'm saying? Ace says if you're not talking, it's good.
Okay, good. That's all I care about, because having to like synchronize pushing two buttons at the same time every single time is getting on my nerves.
All right. You want to move to John Wick 2?
Yeah, I have a button for that. Bop.
Bop. John Wick 2. Welcome everybody to John Wick 2. So this is a sequel to the first John Wick. So this is one of those movies that well, at this point I wasn't, but originally I wasn't really sure if I wanted to see John Wick 1. I was a little hesitant. But I love John Wick 1. That's a fantastic movie. And so by the time I don't know if you remember this, Urban, but I literally said, I was like, oh, I have to wait to watch the second one. Like I was ready to go after we watched the first one. I was ready to watch the second one there and then. Remember that?
Weren't you? Yeah, you were like super like, oh, what is this movie?
Yeah. This is one of those movies I wasn't super like sure about. The first one, and the second one, I was like, let's go. Like, when we dropping, boys, when we watching this stuff, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, this movie, of the 3 that have come out, would you agree that this is the most forgettable of the 3?
Forgettable isn't the word that I would use.
What would you use?
It is the it's a big movie that it's a movie that basically has a lot of action scenes that lead up to one moment that actually matters in the grand scheme of the story, the entire John Wick story.
Okay. So what if you were to boil it down? Because I would say it's the most forgettable, and not by like a big margin. I think that this is still a fantastic movie, but I think that the first and the third are just better. So what would you say then? Would you say that? Would you say the second is the worst of the 3? Like, which one would you say is the worst of the 3?
I would actually say that the second one is the lowest,
least strong.
The least strong of the 3. I don't want to say it's weak.
No, it's not weak at all. But of the 3, I think this one is the not the strongest.
Yeah. This would be. It'd probably be for me at least 3-1-2.
Yeah, I would agree. 3 and 1 are a toss up, but 3 is such a good movie. 3 is such a good movie.
One thing that I also really liked was that as the movie you can watch the speed of fight scenes go. Oh my god, why have you gotten such gory clips for this?
I had to put in the pencil scene.
You gotta, bro.
I had to put in the pencil scene.
You gotta blur some of this, man.
I had to put in the pencil scene,
dude.
I sent this to you yesterday. You could have looked at it.
Yeah, I was busy. I was playing Minecraft. I told you.
That's not my fault, bro.
These are kind of. Wait, hold on.
It's John Wick. What did you expect?
No, I know, but like I wasn't ready, dude.
What did you expect? What do you mean?
I was expecting you to blur some of the like.
Bro, I have literally never blurred a goddamn thing in my life. I'm the laziest piece of garbage ever. You think I blurred something for the spoiler zone? Holy shit.
CinemaWins does it?
Yeah, I ain't CinemaWins, motherfucker.
That's fair.
They got 1 million plus subscribers. We have 20.
That's fair.
Or I have 20 on my YouTube channel, unless you go over subscribe.
Yeah. Do we get the plug?
We did earlier. We did earlier when you were gone, actually.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You need to do an exclamation point plug command just to plug my channel.
Oh, dude. Yes. Remind to set that up.
Yeah. We'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it actually gonna be a problem? Will you be okay?
No.
Okay.
It's probably fine.
All right. Oh. I mean, it is.
Right. This is the spoiler zone. You all know hopefully what
you know what you signed up for. This is the spoiler zone. The zone of spoilers.
Yeah. So, if you don't want spoilers, you probably
it's too late.
Leave.
You're here already.
It's already too late. But also, yeah, I'd say going back to it, I would say that this movie, like this entire movie, is just a bunch of action pieces that lead up basically just to I was gonna break immersion, but it's fine. That all just lead up to that scene, where he can't let it go.
Yeah.
And
I would agree
because
with
of that, he has to deal with the whole theme of the third movie is consequences. He has to deal with that.
Yeah, right? I think that
he has to deal with the consequences of all of this.
Well, while I think that the plot of this one is probably the weakest of the 3, again, not really weak, but like the least strong, I think that the world building on this one is pretty on point. This
The world building in this one is really
this
good.
builds up more about the hotel. Like, he goes to the entire scene of where he gets like the jacket, and he like him prepping for a mission.
He goes to Rome.
Yeah,
he goes to Rome, and the first thing that the Continental manager asks him after, like, literally, I think he just sits him down and he goes, "How have you been? Are you here for the Pope?"
Yeah, that line is ridiculous to me. He was like, are we gonna have a problem? Are you here for the Pope? Like, should I be concerned? He's like, no, I'm not here for the Pope. We talked about this in the first one, and I think that, well, let's take on world building really quickly. What else did they build up the hotels? They build up like the circle. Like there's the one scene where like the two guys are fighting, the two assassins, the John Wick and the other assassin.
Yeah,
I forget his name.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Do you remember his name? The guy that was protecting the lady that he ended up assassinating. I don't remember his name.
Fuck. I don't remember his. No, it's definitely said.
Yeah, no, it is.
I don't remember it though.
Like they fly into the Continental and then they immediately stop fighting.
Cassian.
Yeah, Cassian.
Cassian.
I think it's Cassian. Like they end up fighting into the Continental and then they immediately stop because of the rules. Like, it's interesting how powerful the rules were.
I can literally look this up right now.
You can. We have the power.
Yeah, his name's Cassian, played by Common.
Okay. So Cassian, right? They're fighting, and then they fly into the Continental, and then they immediately stop because of the rules, right? So it makes even more power. You know, everything is building up in the universe to what John does at the end, which is break the rules.
Right. Yeah.
Which is just super interesting.
They're both just like, they're ready to kill each other, and then they have to stop because the rules are that important.
Yeah, and like he's still like the Cassian is still steeping in anger in that scene at the end where they're having a drink.
Yeah, but he still respects the code.
Yeah, he still respects the code because he's gotta.
Right.
Which is super interesting. I think the world building and then like the coins and stuff like that. This one is when they introduce Mark Fischbacher's character. Is that what's his name? Oh god, I just forgot his name. Guy who plays Morpheus.
Fischbacher.
Mark Fischbacher. Yeah. His,
No, that's specifically not. That's Markiplier, my guy.
Well, then what's his name?
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne. Okay, that guy.
Yeah.
Like his like what's his face is beggars where like you give him money to talk to him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we can see your taskbar, by the way.
What?
We can see your taskbar.
Immersion, help. It's fine.
You're good. Which is cool. Like you pay them like the coin and then they let you in and stuff like that. It's just cool. Like it seems like this assassin enterprise is built like takes over every part of the society, and like everyone is just none the wiser about it, which is crazy. Like the more you think about it, the world of John Wick is like so cool in terms of like
did you end up putting in the scene where they're just like walking casually through the subway and they have silenced guns and they're just shooting at each other?
I did not.
Like casually. Damn it. That's such a good scene.
That is a good scene.
I'd show it, but copyright.
We gotta get that shit edited, like we have it. Yeah, no, I mean that's cool.
This scene was so weird. It was like it was a wine tasting thing.
Yeah. It was cool. I liked it. I like the way that they did it. That was cool. I like the guy's voice too. The guy that voices it.
That was just ASMR.
That was nice.
That was ASMR with gun talk. I was seduced.
Yeah. So I think that John Wick obviously does action also very well. I think that again I alluded to it in the preview, but like John Wick's action is very reminiscent of like 80s where like they actually do it. There's not a lot of like CGI in the action. Like it's actually people doing the stunts, doing the action. Again, one thing that you alluded like that was a selling point for you. Even before we like watched the movie, like before I watched the first one, you're like, "Hey, listen, this guy actually like reloads in the middle of battles, which is super cool." Like you love that. You love that detail. Like I remember you like 3 years ago telling me like, "Hey, listen, I love that detail."
Yeah, there was. I think
right here, this guy he loads a fucking shell to kill a guy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
They're always counting ammo, even in post production.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's a tiny detail, but it makes it just seem more real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when he does it with such fluidity.
Yeah, another movie that does that, which wasn't at all common, I think, was especially in the 80s, was Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
I think the first one specifically, possibly even the second one. I don't remember that much, but I know in the first one, at least in the deleted scene, Riggs puts 15 shots into a sniper from a far like distance, um, and he has to reload because it's a Beretta and they have 15 bullets, or 15 one in the chamber, whatever. But yeah, like round counting in action movies is like make or break for me.
Yeah.
I try not to do it.
Yeah, and then I think this movie keeps that as well. Like, there's the one scene where he's like, kind of at the point of like being like he wants to go kill the guy that made him do the job, and he like no one will help him, and so
Yeah.
What was his name? Guy's character name? The guy that plays Morpheus. What's his character's name? I don't remember.
The Bowery King.
Okay, let's call him the King. When he's like, I'll give you 7 bullets. And he's like, 7 bullets? He's like, yeah, that'll be enough for you. And like right here, he uses the 7 bullets, and then he's out.
$7 million.
Yeah, right? So, you know, John Wick comes in this final fight, he comes in with nothing, and he kind of just has to like use his surroundings. Like, John Wick is very, like, again, like, also the mythos of John, right? I think it was cool that they actually did the pencil scene, or at least a version of the pencil scene. Like, he killed people with a pencil. Who fucking does that?
He killed 3 people at a bar with a pencil.
Who fucking does that?
Who the fuck can do that?
I've heard the stories with the pencil. With a motherfucking pencil! Oh, actually, this is, again, because this is good stuff, it's very disjointed, I feel like, but I also thought something that I found interesting about this movie when I was thinking about it after watching the clips. This movie actually surprisingly does representation really well. I think. Again, I could be completely wrong, but like, for example, the assassin that John Wick is up against, like, each movie kind of has like assassins like opposed to him, right? Mm-hmm. And the one at least one of the ones in this one was the mute lady. Right? She had the silent and stuff like that. Like, that never felt like it was like that was a part of her character, and it was cool. Like, that was just like, this is a character, and this is also happens to be a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
it didn't like hinder her ability. She was still very badass, very cool. Whenever he fought with her, it was very entertaining and stuff like that. And I was like, that's just kind of cool. I felt, you know, like, how often do you have mute characters in your action movies, right? As the antagonist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just thought that was interesting. Anything that you want to say?
I believe that actress is Ruby. I think her name is Ruby Rose.
Yeah, because she played
Batgirl. Batwoman.
Batwoman, yeah, but no longer. She just for the first season.
Yes, her name is Ruby Rose. She is very hot.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Now you've said it on stream. Anything you want to say about John Wick 2? I feel like I've been talking a lot.
I mean, you've hit basically all the points that I've done, and like all the points that the point that I really wanted to talk about kind of just happened at the beginning of the thing, so I'm just kind of along for the ride.
Oh, I love.
It's just a good movie. It's just good.
Just good. Go do it. Go watch it. I like the.
You're still here.
What are you doing? Go watch it. I like the detail of him like holding up his bulletproof jacket above his head. Like, that's a cool tiny detail.
It's a cool thing for them to do, but it doesn't actually that doesn't fly.
What do you mean?
In real life?
Well, obviously, but this is a movie where like everyone, like an assassin enterprise rules the world, and they have like bulletproof jackets that are legitimately bulletproof.
I mean, who's to say that doesn't actually exist right now?
And it doesn't exist, but I mean, maybe it does. Who's to say?
Don't ruin my fun.
I'm ruining your fun.
Let me have this. Let me have this.
I also think, because again, the third movie kind of like plays up how many random like assassins there are everywhere because of the nature of it. But like, I like that this movie kind of like plays with that. Like so many people just start attacking him when there's a hit on him.
Yeah, he gets hit like a lot.
He does.
It's a give and take.
Yeah,
it isn't just a.
John isn't unbeatable. He's just really good at what he does, and he's very adaptable.
He's just a little bit better than everybody
else. But he takes hits. He gets shot. You know, he gets slowed and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
like it's a fight. I also like that John, I mean, like they didn't want to like fight in front of like old ladies, like the old lady and stuff like that, and then like at the end he doesn't kill Cassian. He's like, this is like, consider this a professional courtesy.
The professional courtesy thing was a great callback that they ended up doing.
Yeah, it's a great line.
Also, not fighting in front of certain groups is something that they also do in the third movie as well.
Yeah.
If you'll remember.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk about it right now, but yeah.
No. I also think that the visuals actually are quite interesting in this movie. They use a lot of different backgrounds. Like for this one, they have like the little mirror place, and then
The
like
mirror scene fucked me so hard, dude.
the mirror scene's really
That was
cool.
so hard to keep up with.
They have like chases and stuff like that. Like it's never like the backgrounds are never bland. I feel like the backgrounds and like the visuals are always
the
very
color palette
interesting.
in this movie was actually really good as well.
Definitely.
It had like the vaporwave thing.
Also, if I remember correctly, John Wick movies don't use the music a whole lot, right?
They kind of do. I think they had a club. Did they have a club scene in the third movie? There was a club. There was a club scene.
Well, I mean more like a score, not like music, like a score. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, yeah. Tyler Bates, I believe, is his name.
No, I know that they have. I'm just saying like, he doesn't utilize it very well. For example, in Indiana Jones, they use it a whole lot, and it's a big part of it. In John Wick, it's very in the background. I feel like I don't remember the score very much. In John Wick.
He walks to the music a lot. Actually.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's more like yeah.
But do you know what I'm saying though? Like
the music isn't exactly isn't the focal point, but it does exist, and it is actually really good. I actually own the first movie soundtrack on Apple. I'm pretty sure.
That.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I also own the Swiss Army Man soundtrack as well. That's one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard in my life.
Really?
It's a good movie. We haven't watched it yet. We have to watch that. Tyler Bates, help. Anyways, continue.
Is there anything else you want to say about John Wick? John Wick is one of those, again, John Wick 2, I should say. We're talking about John Wick 2. It just feels like
it's such a good movie. It's
solid
such a good movie,
movie,
and I'm pretty sure this is going to be the shortest segment.
Probably. I don't think that there's a whole lot to say about it, is the thing. I don't think that it does a whole lot of things terribly wrong. But I think that, again, it doesn't do everything, like, the best, like I think 1 and 3 do. And so I think it becomes more of a... It's really good, but it's not great, I would say. Like, it's not like the best of the best.
Or the best, sir?
Yes.
Wait, have you seen Men in Black?
It's been a hot minute. I've seen the third one.
Disappointed in you.
I apologize. So, questions.
Yeah, I do own the first movie soundtrack. Oh yeah, questions. You can hit that. That's the stream marker right there, and I can open up chat and actually read. Oh, nothing much happened actually. We're fine.
That is fair, Ace. How hard it would be to film that mirror fight scene and not have the camera in the shot.
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it, dude. How'd you know we were done?
How? Oh, Rexon might be listening.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So any questions anyone has? Anyone wants to put in the chat, highlight it.
Oh yeah, I don't think I actually properly said this. Thanks for following, John. Appreciate it, buddy.
Oh, thanks, John.
Yeah, it was like 30 minutes ago, though. We ended up starting the new segment before I realized.
I've never seen John Wick, so I don't have any questions about it, but how do you guys pick movies, and do you take requests? So, generally, what we've done...
I get to show this! Yeah! Oh, wait, I can't, because I'm not signed in on oh, fuck.
Well, he does whatever he's doing. For the movie list, generally, so the way that it works is that he'll pick a movie, and then I'll pick a movie, right? So, for example... he'll pick Justice League, and then I'll pick Indiana Jones, and then we'll put them in order, like in a queue, and then we'll watch them 2 at a time, right? So we'll watch one of his movie, one of my movie. That way, it's kind of fair. At this point, we haven't really figured out a system we want to do for requests. I mean, we talked about wanting to take requests, but we didn't talk about because again, the goal is to still make it so that it's movies that we want to watch. So I would be cool with doing like requests and stuff like that, but I wouldn't want to do it solely requests, if that makes sense. I would never want to go away from us picking movies. So, what do you think, Urban? About the request thing? Maybe 1 request per stream. We could do that. We could do well, I guess it would have to be maybe 1 or 2 per stream. Because we want to do requests, we just haven't figured it out. Urban, you still there, Urban?
The fucking crickets are outside still. I'm just muting my mic. I'm still here.
Okay. So about taking requests. So do you have any thoughts now that we're here live? What are we thinking? We did talk about having a certain number of channel points to
like about like talking about it, or just like
no
actually
for us to
watching it?
watch and talk about in the spoiler zone.
Oh wow. Huh.
Ace is asking about if we take requests.
That could be interesting, actually.
Yeah, we talked about this. Talked about maybe having it on your channel points. Talked about taking requests. We weren't sure how we wanted to do it though. So I mean, if that's something that you're open to, I mean, it would be on your Twitch. So how would you want to do that? Or we could talk about that later. Don't have to talk about that now. We could leave it at we're open to it, but we haven't figured out the details yet. Is that where you want to leave it? What do you want to do? Hello. No. You're good, Ace. That's not really. Again, we're not. It wasn't. We have been talking about this behind the scenes actually a fair amount, but we haven't figured out the logistics of how we wanted to do it yet. Okay, so you're showing the movie list. What are you doing?
I was setting this up. I've now said that 3 times now because I forgot to unmute.
Yeah. So what are you saying?
Did you not ask me to show the movie list?
No, I never said that. I asked how you would want to take requests for a movie list to watch. How we would want to do that if you wanted to do that. What do you want to leave it at for telling them?
I have no idea, bro. This fucking I hate this cricket so much, dude. I'm gonna fucking murder it. I swear to God.
I think it's not just one cricket.
I
It's probably
actually have
multiple.
no idea. No, it's way louder on stream, dude.
No, I'm saying like there's probably multiple crickets though. Anyway, if you don't want to talk about it, we can talk about that later though.
3 movies, so we'd have to watch. So movie night would be like.
Yeah, 3 movies is a little bit much.
2.
I would rather do
That's a lot.
I would
doing 2 sometimes.
Yeah, I think 2 is still what we would stick with, but we would maybe like take votes and stuff like that too. That would be fine. Or what we could do, interesting thought. I'm just spitballing here. We could do like a 1 request per week or whatever between spoiler zones and add that on top for a 5th movie to talk about. So we could do 4 movies that we've already watched and then a 5th movie that we'd watch for that specific spoiler zone from the Twitch chat. That could be interesting.
That would get the movie list like going again, I think.
Yeah. We'll leave it at this. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. For an entire episode, we could do that too. I mean, we've talked about that as well. We'll talk about how we're gonna do it.
We literally spent an entire hour talking about Justice League. We could probably do that. We could probably do that for one movie.
We will talk about figuring out what to do for taking requests. We will eventually. So if you have a request for a movie you want us to watch, please keep that in mind. And then Clory asked, for someone who has never watched John Wick, which is your favorite?
3.
3 is probably my favorite, but I don't think 3 works if you haven't watched the other 2, unfortunately.
Yeah, you'd want to watch the first one.
You want to watch the first one and then the second one.
The second one, if you liked it, it would probably be a good idea. If you like the first one, and then the third one is just pure fun.
Yeah. And then it sounds like we actually did accidentally skip Black's question, which was, for someone who has never watched John Wick, why should I watch the movies? So why should someone watch John Wick? Period.
They're just good. They're just good. Ooh, wait, hold on. This is Black we're talking about. Black, if you seen the first one,
he hasn't seen any of them.
Black's not gonna be able to get through the first movie.
Yeah. Ooh. So I keep trying to get my aunt to watch these movies because she loves like 80s action movies, but she knows what happens in the first movie, which is the dog dying.
Not okay. Yeah.
This is the spoiler zone.
There he goes. That's it. He's gone. Never gonna watch it now.
Spoiler zone. We spoil things.
Good job.
We spoil things. I think that if you enjoy action movies, you have to watch this movie just because of the pure action. It does get a little gory, so if that's something that you can't handle, that's totally fair. It is an R-rated movie, and it leans into the R-rated movie. And the action is just superb. And I actually do think that the world building is really good. The plots are a little bit so-so, but really it's with the world building and the action that makes these movies really good. And you will not be disappointed. You'll be very entertained when you watch them. These movies build up John Wick really, really well to be this monumental being in person, and then they deliver. So that's why I would watch them. That's what I've enjoyed about them. That's what Urban kind of pitched to me when I first watched them. Anything else you want to add about why to watch John Wick?
Hold on, I did a thing. I'm going to transition to it. Oh,
Okay.
I think it already did it, actually.
Okay. Have you been messing with your Twitch stream while I've been talking?
No, of course not.
Very cool. Very cool. Dual podcast here, everybody. All right. Sounds like we're out of questions for John Wick. You ready to move to When Harry Met Sally? Ignored for.
Well, that kind of worked, but yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there's actually silence. I can actually unmute completely now. Oh my god. These crickets are actually killing me, dude.
Need to get a window.
I closed them. They're still coming through.
You can't stop
They're
their power.
loud.
You can't stop their power.
Okay, chat box going off. And then, whoops, didn't mean to do that. And then, bop. When Harry Met Sally. I don't really remember this movie, so you're gonna have to carry this one like hard.
What have I been doing so far?
Carrying the series hard because I don't talk very well.
You talk fine. So really quickly, so I remember I know how much you remember about this conversation, but in general, I enjoy romance movies. There's a guilty pleasure of mine.
I'm aware.
I'm telling chat this.
Oh.
Not chat,
They're
but like the video.
They're aware.
And then you were very. I wanted to show you one, and you were like, no, I'm never doing that. Fuck that. I hate them all. And then I whittled you down eventually, and you're like, all right, I'll watch one. If I hate it, we're never doing it again. So what was your thought process coming in to watching When Harry Met Sally? Like, where were you at mentally?
I thought this was a go next. I was genuinely just ready to get this over with and just be like, yeah. See, I don't like rom-coms. We're never doing this shit again.
And then how did you feel when you left?
Reluctant acceptance that you do in fact know some decent rom-com movies.
Reluctant acceptance.
It's about where I was at mentally.
Okay, so I think that again, obviously this is a romance movie, but I think that like this is more of a character study.
Why did you include this? Why did you include that specific scene?
Because this is a classic scene. Like everyone knows that scene from Harry Met Sally if you've seen the When Harry Met Sally. It's like a very famous scene.
So weird.
You had to include it. It's very famous.
Alright, continue.
I think this movie is actually pretty funny.
Oh, it was really funny.
I
remember like the whole one of the reasons I actually liked it was because the comedy in it was good.
Yeah, I think that the issue that a lot of rom-coms have is that the com is not very good. But I think that I think the two characters were pretty good. They were very well acted too.
Yeah.
Let's see here. It's a slow build up, which is nice. I think it's very believable. Something that doesn't happen very often is it's spread out over a lot of period of time, which is interesting. It doesn't happen in a whole lot of movies like this.
Yeah.
And it very is. There are other characters in this movie, but it really is a focus on the two characters and their story. And I think that just works really well.
I remember that scene where they both end up calling their best friend.
Yeah. They're together.
They're talking about it. Yeah.
I also think that this movie has one of the more believable, like where they like get mad at each other towards the end in the third act. I think it has one of the more believable ones where they have like a falling out. I think that makes sense.
The falling, yeah, isn't that like a staple in like most romance or rom-com movies where it's like there's always the part where it's just like, yeah, we're smooth sailing, all of a sudden something comes up and it's just like, oh well, never getting together, and then all of a sudden, near like at the very end, it's just like, ah, yay, happy things forever.
Yep, he goes, chases her down in a car, gets a taxi. Yep. It unfortunately is a staple. But I think again, this is a classic of the genre though. Like it kind of it sets a lot of that up, or at least early on sets it up, right? This a lot of tropes are borrowed from this movie and other movies like it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. It's also one thing I think that would really help for you is that it's very short. It did not overstay its welcome.
Yeah.
It did not.
It was a fairly short one.
I think it's like an hour 30, hour 40 long. If you want to look it up, I'm not sure. I think it's like an hour 40 long. So it does not overstay its welcome. Very funny. Two likable characters.
Hour 36.
Hour 36. Okay, so not very long at all. Right, that includes credits too. So probably like an hour 30 when you actually get down to it. So not very long. Doesn't overstay its welcome. Very, very, very funny. Good. And if you enjoy the romance is also there too. Like I don't want to understate the romance. It's a good slow build up and it's believable. The two actors have chemistry. Burn. Yeah, it's a slow burn. The two actors have chemistry. Not something that happens with the whole romance movies. Sometimes they just don't have chemistry and you're like, what is happening? But the main guy actor, I think, did a really good job in this movie actually. He's very interesting in terms of like what a rom-com guy actor is. A lot of times they're very formulaic and like nothing, and he actually has a personality.
Billy Crystal, nice. Right?
Yeah, Billy Crystal.
Yeah.
And then Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan's been in like a lot of romance movies that were classic. I don't think he was in anything.
Mail.
You've Got Mail.
There was
Sleepless
two
in Seattle.
Yeah, that was the other one. Yeah. I know those two.
I don't think that he's been in any other big romance movies though. I don't even know what else he's been in, but I think.
Give me a sec.
Find out.
Should I move this over to the main monitor?
Sure.
Okay, hold on. Okay, how would I search for? Is there like a?
What exactly are you looking for?
Oh nope, that's not it. Oh wait, yeah, no, it is. Romance. There.
Like what other movies was he in? I guess.
Apparently, he was in Friends.
Yeah, that's a TV show though.
He was in The Princess Bride.
Was?
Man. Apparently. Who was he in The Princess Bride? What?
What?
Excuse you? Oh, right. He was Miracle Max.
Oh, yeah.
The Jewish wizard or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Of course.
Okay.
Couldn't forget that.
So these are apparently all the things that he's been in that are, like, considered romances.
Yeah, but none of them are, like, monolithic. Like, a lot of them are...
That's fair.
So.
That's fair.
Also some TV shows, it seems like Modern Family and stuff like that. Which a lot of the actors that are in romance movies kind of get typecast as romance movie actors. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I think that romance movies in general, if you'll indulge me a little bit in the reason I like romance is because a lot of movies that are character studies aren't very good. And romance movies kind of, unless you have a gimmick, in general kind of have to be character studies because that's all it is. Two characters, maybe a couple other characters involved, right? But it's them in a relationship. So the genre forces you to try and write characters. And I like character writing and character acting. The issue is that a lot of them fall flat because of the necessity, right? If you don't have good character acting and good character writing, then your movie sucks. Or you have a gimmick. So that's why good romance movies, I think, are good, and I think that deserve to be watched, and not just thrown away.
Would you have considered About Time to have had a gimmick?
About Time is one of the ones that has a gimmick, I think. But I think it still has good character acting as well. It's one of the few that has a gimmick and something. Because a lot of times in a romance movie, you'll have a gimmick where it's like, this is the thing that is around the movie. And About Time, we'll talk about that later, is the time thing, right?
Yeah. About Time is like that was that one. Oh my god,
that was a more recent romance movie I got Urban to watch that he enjoyed.
Enjoyed is a weak word. You made me ugly cry.
I made
hate
you ugly cry. It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
It's a really good movie.
That's just a good movie. Like that's not just like there are a lot of good romance movies, and then a few of the good romance movies transcend into being a good movie. I think, and I think that's one of the movies that does. It's also like criminally underrated. Like not very many people know about it. When Harry Met Sally is pretty popular. I think a lot of people know it. It's a classic. Maybe you've not seen it, but you've probably heard of it at least. Is there anything that you wanted to say? I know you don't remember it a whole lot, but like, is there anything you wanted to say about it?
Not really. This one's gonna be a go next for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder. So, I'm actually wondering.
I'm not saying that it's a bad movie or that I don't like. It's just I don't. It was so long ago, and I only ever watched it once, and I don't really plan to watch it again. Not that it's a bad movie. It's just it's not really my genre.
No, for sure. That's what I'm wondering though. I'm wondering if like the fact that you don't really remember it a whole lot is a testament to if it's forgettable or not. Because it's a good movie, but is it like stand outish? Is my question. That makes sense. Yeah. Like I don't know. I actually don't know if it is. I think it's a good movie. I enjoy it, but I don't know if it's stand outish. Like a lot of the movies here, not Justice League, but like Indiana Jones is stand outish. Like that'll stand out in your brain for a long time. John Wick, the series, will stand out in your brain a long time. I don't know if When Harry Met Sally kind of meets that criteria. It's a good movie. I recommend it, but I don't know if it'll stay with you for a long time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good ride, but it's not like gonna change your life. Not every movie has to change your life. I don't think though.
No.
Well, I think that's about everything I wanted to say. I think there's not a whole lot to talk about when it comes to When Harry Met Sally. It's a good movie, good solid movie. If you enjoy romance, you'll enjoy it. If you don't like romance, you probably won't like it because it's got a lot of the tropes in there. Because it's kind of, it's one of the movies that kind of made the tropes in general. But yeah, we can accept questions at this point.
Questions. I don't. Bro, I want to burn my backyard so much.
Let's see here.
Ducks. Quack.
Ducks are good. I do enjoy ducks. Oh, Ace headed out. Shout out to Ace, even though he's gone. Thanks for watching, Ace.
Thanks, Ace, for stopping by.
I'm a fan of ducks. I do like ducks. Are there any other questions? I know, again, this is a movie that people might not have as much interest in general. Which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. I think the ordering also made it so we kind of ended on a bit of a lighter note. We had a bunch of, like, high action, high movies, and then When Harry Met Sally is a little bit lower key. Hilariously enough. How old are the characters in this movie? Is it teenager to adults? The characters in this movie are adults.
If I remember right,
they start in college.
They introduce the characters in college.
They introduce the characters in college.
They're literally driving there like right then.
Yeah, they're driving home from college, and then they skip time. So these are characters like in their early 20s, mid 20s. They're more adult. A lot of times, interestingly enough, romance movies tend to have older characters, but romance books have younger characters generally, which is interesting. It's an interesting dichotomy you have there. Black side of questions. We'll take any other questions. Well, otherwise, I mean, I think it was a good podcast. I think it was good. I think we were a little bit over the 2-hour mark, which is a little bit longer for general. We talked about Justice League for a long time. K-dramas and anime are usually younger. Yeah, that's fair.
Cool. The only thing I'm kind of upset with is the crickets, but it's whatever.
I mean, you can't really avoid. I can't really fix that. We could record it earlier next time, or do it live earlier next time.
It's whatever.
All right. Well, then I think we're gonna sign off. Do we want to? We've been doing like a bit of a preview for what movies are next. So let's look at what movies are next really quickly. If you want to pull it up, and then we'll head out. And then the next one comes whenever the fuck we decided to do it. I'm down to if you want to try and do it quick, like a good quick turnaround. I'm down. I enjoy these, but we have to make the graphics and stuff. Weekly might be a stretch, but it would be fun. I mean, I would be down, but it's a bit of a stretch because Urban has to make the graphics and have to make the clips. Daily. Yes, Black. We're going to go daily. Of course, of course.
I'm sorry, what is he signing us up for?
I'm not signing us up for anything. Are you there?
Yeah, what?
Can you pull up the movie list? We're going to look at the next 4 movies.
No.
No?
Specifically, I can't. Something's wrong with it. It's not loading.
The movie list?
Yeah. Hold on, give me a sec. I'm gonna try restarting Chrome.
Sure. Yeah, Chloe. Thanks, Chloe. Thanks, Black. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I think it's a fun time. Bi-hourly, yes. We will do it every other hour.
Please stop. You're killing me.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I already shouted out Urban, but I think the spoiler zone works too because we have the cool graphics. I think I like the vibe we got going there. Yeah, all of them are about 2 hours. Yeah, I think the Quiet Mans might be good. Yeah, we'll see what I do. I'm lazy by nature, Black. I don't want. I don't want the series to take too long because I don't want it to take away from other stuff. So I might edit out a little bit, but I might.
Hold on, give me a sec.
Not.
Okay. Anyways, that's what I did to the thing.
What thing?
To the chat box. Can't see it, I think.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Do you like that?
For this, yeah.
Okay, like when we're talking.
It kind of looks like it's on the. Yeah.
Cool.
Because is it readable?
Yeah.
Bro, what the fuck? I can't load the movie list.
Okay, I'll load it.
No, the Google Docs literally freezes. I don't understand. Is it doing that for everything?
Well, I have I think I have the movie list already pulled up, so I don't think I'll have to load. I know I do. I do have to pull it up. I can open it fun.
Yeah, something. What the fuck?
All right, so from what I'm looking at, the next movies, everyone, are Avengers: Infinity War, Rush Hour 3, The Lion King, and Pitch Black. Those are the next 3 movies.
Cool.
Infinity War is probably the one I'm most excited about because just the story is super fun for how we watched that movie. Rush Hour 3 is good. Lion King is a fun to talk about, and then Pitch Black is an interesting dark horse, I think. All right, is there anything else you want to say, Urban, or are you ready to sign out?
Well, the crickets are preventing me from doing that, so I think we should just leave.
All right. I'm gonna call it there. Thank you everyone for watching. If you want to see more, check out the other 2 podcasts. They're already on YouTube, and we'll try to do these more as often as we can. All right. So look out for that. We'll post announcements in the Discord, and I'll post another video on YouTube when we're doing another one live here on this channel. All right. Thanks everyone. Have a good one.